When prices go up, society changes with them. A more expensive grocery bill does not just hurt your wallet. It changes habits. It changes stress levels. It changes family decisions. And over time, it can even change politics. Most people think inflation is just an economic number. But inflation is really a pressure on daily life. When food, rent, gas, and healthcare rise faster than income, people do not just spend differently. They start living differently. That is why inflation is not only about prices, it is about how society adapts under pressure. So in this video, we'll look at 6 simple ways inflation changes society. We'll go from everyday life to health, to family, to trust, and finally to politics. At its core, inflation means your money buys less than before. The same paycheck covers fewer things. And when that happens across millions of households at the same time, the effects spread far beyond the economy. Inflation becomes a social force. The first change is simple. People start cutting back. When essentials get more expensive, families protect the basics first. Food comes first. Rent comes first. Utilities come first. Everything else becomes optional. People switch to cheaper brands. They eat out less. They cancel subscriptions. They delay purchases. They avoid small luxuries. This creates a new mindset. Life becomes more defensive. Instead of asking, "What do we want?" people start asking, "What can we still afford?" So inflation quietly rewrites everyday behavior. The second change is emotional and physical. Inflation creates constant financial stress. Not because of one big crisis, but because of repeated small pressures. Every trip to the store feels heavier. Every bill feels less predictable. Every surprise expense feels more dangerous. That kind of pressure builds up. People worry more. They sleep worse. They feel less secure. Some delay doctor visits. Some skip prescriptions. Some ignore problems because they cost money. So inflation does not just raise prices. It raises anxiety. And when millions of people feel that at once, public well-being gets weaker. The third change is personal. Inflation makes the future feel harder to reach. Big life steps become more expensive. Buying a home feels farther away. Raising children feels riskier. Saving for school feels harder. Even marriage can feel like something to postpone. Young adults often wait longer. They wait for more stable income. They wait for cheaper housing. They wait until life feels safer. Sometimes that wait becomes years. Even inside existing families, financial pressure can create more tension. Arguments become more common when money feels tight. So inflation does not just change budgets. It can delay the basic milestones that build society. The fourth change is less obvious. Inflation does not affect everyone the same way. Some people lose more than others, and a few may even benefit. If someone has a fixed-rate debt like a mortgage, inflation can reduce the real burden of that debt over time. Why? Because they repay old debt with weaker dollars. But people living on fixed income often lose. Retirees can be hit hard. Savers can be hit hard. Anyone holding cash can feel poorer without changing anything. So inflation can feel unfair. Two people can work equally hard, but one falls behind faster. That creates resentment. And resentment changes how people see the system. The fifth change is social trust. When prices keep rising, people start asking hard questions. Why is everything more expensive? Who is benefiting? Is anyone in control? Over time, people may stop trusting institutions. They may trust banks less. They may trust government less. They may even trust businesses less. And when people feel the system is unfair, they often become more guarded with each other too. They cooperate less. They feel more suspicious. They become more cynical. This matters a lot because society runs on trust. When trust weakens, everyday life becomes colder and more unstable. The sixth change is political. When people feel financially squeezed, they often lose patience with the status quo. Mainstream solutions start to feel too slow. Traditional leaders start to feel disconnected. So people begin looking for stronger, more dramatic answers. That is when anti-system voices grow. Populist movements grow. Anger grows. Blame grows. People want someone to explain the pain, and they want someone to stop it. This does not happen because inflation automatically changes beliefs. It happens because long financial pressure makes people more willing to reject the old system. So inflation can quietly reshape elections, public mood, and national direction. All six forces connect. Higher prices change habits. Changed habits create stress. Stress delays family plans. Uneven pain creates resentment. Resentment weakens trust. And weak trust fuels political anger. That is why inflation is not just a money problem. It is a chain reaction that can slowly reshape how a society lives, plans, and votes. So, when people talk about inflation, they are not only talking about prices. They are talking about pressure. Pressure on households. Pressure on health. Pressure on families. Pressure on trust. Pressure on the political system. And that is what makes inflation so powerful. It does not just make life more expensive. It can make society feel less stable. This is Simplexplain. Complex ideas simply explained.